I think you guys made like 24 threes and they made 3. I mean, that's good, obviously. But do you feel like that might have masked what was, not necessarily the cleanest game from you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was phenomenal first 18 minutes. I thought that was maybe the best stretch we've had all year to start the game. And then, halfway through the second quarter, maybe 8 minutes left in the second quarter, we didn't have any turnovers. We had like 16 assists. We were defending, rebounding, doing everything right. And then we just lost our focus. And that's our biggest challenge right now is trying to maintain our focus long enough to not give up leads and allow teams back in. And I thought that's what happened tonight. But we're going to make a lot of threes. We got great shooters, and we have a lot of guys who can shoot them. But we know we have a lot of improvement to make, mainly on that focus dynamic that I talked about.
We've talked about Andrew Wiggins being, the second most reliable player this season. Another really efficient night for him with 8 threes is a career high for him. Just what'd you think of him today? Yeah,
Andrew was great. I didn't feel like I had done a very good job the last 2 or 3 games of getting him involved. Sometimes he can be left out a little bit offensively when we're really, kind of flying up the court and taking quick shots. And, he's such a good player and attacker. And so I thought tonight we made a little more concerted effort to try to get him the ball early. But more than anything, he was just super aggressive, and the shooting was amazing to watch.
Steve, you've been saying how Moses Moody will be ready for his opportunity. 17 minutes, 11 points. What stood out to you the most?
Just his professionalism and his character. I mean, the guy hasn't played in a month, and he's been working so hard every single day, going full bore, getting his work in the weight room, on the floor, getting extra shots. So Moses is someone who I just believe in, as a human being, and he showed why tonight. That takes a lot of character to come in off the bench with a lot of cobwebs and shake all those off and knock down big shots and play important minutes. So hats off to Moses.
Also, tonight, Draymond Green passed Michael Jordan on the all-time three-point list. Just want to know if you think Michael might take that personally.
That's good. I like that. That's a random stat. But we'll celebrate that. I'll go down and toast Draymond downstairs.
Steve, you don't really have like the traditional shot blocker type rim protectors. How do you stop a team from just scoring in the paint with the frequency that we saw tonight and maybe some other games?
I thought the problem tonight was our switching was not good. It wasn't clean, and so they started getting penetration because we weren't physical with our switching. We weren't controlling the screener, and we missed a couple of switches communication-wise. So we have to try to keep people in front of us. We don't have anybody back there who's going to clean up the mess. So we've got to do a better job of just the initial point of attack defense.
Steve, a lot has been made of Draymond's impact in the second unit, and rightfully so, but Andrew is another starter who has been spending a lot of time kind of bridging the first and second unit. What does he add to that group, and how does him playing with them help them out as well?
Well, obviously the shooting, which stood out tonight, but he's also a secondary playmaker. If he's out there with Jordan's going to have the ball in his hands a lot, but Wiggs can create plays and create offense off the dribble himself, and then just his experience. This guy's a champion. He's an all-star. So it's comforting for me to see him out there with a unit that sometimes needs settling down.
Steve, a stretch like that where you aren't committing any turnovers and the team isn't fouling for a good stretch, does that show you guys can play your up-tempo style and do it cleanly, so to speak?
Yeah, I've never felt like our turnovers are a result of our style. They've always been a result of carelessness. You know, we're a team that's pretty loose, and that looseness sometimes is great because it leads to guys shooting with a lot of freedom, attacking, being aggressive. But we always try to challenge our guys to walk the line, just walk that ledge, be really aggressive and loose and free, but just keep hitting singles. That's what I always say, keep hitting singles. And then it seems like, we'll hit 15 singles in a row, and then 5 guys will step up to the plate and swing for the fences and strike out, and then, we lose our edge. So, well, that's the challenge for our team, and I know we can get there and get to a place where we're playing more consistently for a longer period of time.
Just wanted to check quickly. Steph looked to tweak, landed awkwardly or something like that in the second half, and he was limping around a little bit. Is he okay? And then
Yeah, I
same
think
with
he's
Jordan.
fine. Yeah.
Jordan too.
Jordan too. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Just how good do you feel from 3 right now? I think you're now up to like near 45% on the season.
I feel good. My shot feels good. I'm repping it out in practice, getting a lot of shots up just to, stay consistent with it.
Has 40 ever mattered to you? I mean, 40 at sometimes to shooters feels like kind of, I guess, the holy grail or, for the season.
I want to be above it. That's what I aim for. I feel like once you get past 40, then people, they look at you different when it comes to three-point shooting. But, that's what I strive for. So I work out, shoot a lot of reps, to prepare myself for the game. So
I think at one point tonight they had you at 9 of 11, but do you remember which one of your foot was on the line?
Yeah, it was my last make, yeah.
Did you know when you shot it your foot was on the line?
I knew it might be on the line, but I feel like I just had to shoot it.
Yeah.
Have you like changed anything or done anything differently to just prepare yourself just because of how well you are shooting the 3?
Just always staying ready, always staying alert, assertive and ready. Because, on this team, we all move the ball, trying to find the open man. And, there's going to be a lot of shots for everybody. So you always got to stay prepared.
And then what was that third quarter like for you? I think you had 17 points and 5 of your 8 threes came in that frame.
Man, I felt like I was just flowing. My shot felt good. My teammates, did a great job, just finding me and, getting me open shots and good looks. So, felt good.
Steve said that one of the biggest issues right now with this team is not being able to stay focused throughout the entire game. And these past 2 games, that's when you guys have let your opponent back in. So what needs to change, down the stretch of the games to stay locked in and not let teams get back into the game?
The game was full of runs. I feel like when you play with the game, the game will play with you. The other team will start making shots, and next thing you know, it's a close game. And so you always got to, play your heart out, on the floor, and never take your opponent lightly. Don't take your foot off the gas, no matter who you're playing. Houston is a bunch of young guys, but they're hungry, and they're young, so they're not going to stop. They're going to have energy the whole game. So we just got to stay with it.
Andrew, how many threes would you say you're putting up in a given practice? I
just shoot till I feel good, till it feels good.
Okay, 100, less?
Probably more.
More than 100?
Yeah.
Fewer than 200?
Now I don't know.
Okay.
I just shoot till it feels good. Yeah.
And what tells you that it feels good? I know that sounds silly, but maybe, they're all going in, or you just.
Not that going in is one of the things, but just when it leaves my hand, how it feels, just preparing for the ball before the pass comes, just staying locked in, and then when it feels like it feels good, then I'm good.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve said that sometimes it feels like you can kind of get left out of the offense at times. Not today, obviously, but, past couple of games maybe. Is that something that you notice? And when that happens, how do you counteract that as a player?
I mean, I feel like that's one of the things about, being on a good team. Every night's gonna be someone else's night. And you just gotta wait for your moment. I'm fortunate enough to play for a lot of great players on this team. So I feel like it happens sometimes, but if it's not me, then it could be somebody else. But as long as we're winning, and I stay focused, stay locked in, I'm good. I'm good.
Is the biggest thing that kind of stands out to you on the box score the made threes on both sides?
I wouldn't say the biggest surprise. I mean, we shoot a lot of threes, but we got a great shooter, so we got good looks, and everybody was making them tonight. And for them, I feel like we played pretty good defense in the half court. Most of the time when they got back in the game was we was turning the ball over, and they're pretty tough to stop in transition. But I think in the half court we took away all their clean good looks.
What's it just like to see kind of Andrew Wiggins? He really is built off of what he did in the playoffs heading into this season. Maybe defensively he could be a little bit better, but offensively he's been pretty good to start the season.
I think he's been rock solid for us all year. He's been really consistent. You can count him in for 20 points every night and guarding the other best perimeter player every night. So he's been a consistent guy for us, and to see him, continue to grow, get better as a player is great to see. He always been a pretty good shooter, but this year he even seems like taking another leap, shooting the ball. It seems like he's a lot more confident out there in everything he's doing. So, just great to see his development.
The streets are giving Mo a nickname, Stay Ready. Solid night for him tonight. Sharp shooting, good defense. Playing minutes for the first time in 2 games. Kerr praised him just now after the game. What kind of goes into his preparation that he seems to always be ready whenever his number's called?
That just speaks to his character and him as a young player. That's kind of tough to do, to not ever know when your number's going to get called, and actually when it is called, to show up and do your job. He did that for us last year in the playoffs, and he wouldn't play for multiple games, and he got done in the third quarter and he performed. So, for me, that's what I expect from him every time he get out there on the court. He's a really good young player, and with his veteran team, you got to kind of wait your turn and be ready for your opportunity when your number is called. And that's something that I think all the young guys on our team are going to have to go through and learn through. That's what I had to go through coming up. So he knows what to expect, and when his number is called, he's always ready.
Steve has talked a lot about just defending without fouling and not sending guys to the foul line. And you guys have the biggest disparity in the league right now between free throw attempts and your opponent's free throw attempts. I mean, is that something that you guys actively talk about, that disparity, and how big of a concern I guess that for you guys?
I mean, Steve talks about it every day. A lot. Every day, every chance he gets, he talks about fouls, and every day for 3 years probably. So we've been fouling for a long time. I never feel like I'll be fouling, but I on the film it looks like fouls, I guess. So that's something as a team we got to get better at. We talk about that all the time. We're one of the best teams, and when the game just flown, we're able to use our pace. But when we're out there fouling, the game slows down, and teams get to set up their defense, and it's hard to win like that. So that's something we got to get better at, something we need to focus on. I think that's the next step for our defense to take, is to stop fouling. And I think if we do that, we can take another step as a team.